What's going on, everyone? This is going to be my review for the movie Devotion. This is a war action film directed by J.D. Dillard, stars Glen, Powell, Jonathan Majors, and Darren Kagasoff, and Surrender Swan. The inspirational true story of Jesse Brown, the first black aviator in U.S. Navy history, and his enduring friendship with fellow fighter pilot Tom Hudner. Helping to turn the tide in the most brutal battle in the Korean War, their heroic sacrifices ultimately make them the Navy's most celebrated wingmen. If you guys are new to the channel, all my social media links in the description box are down below. Follow me from my Facebook all the way to my serialized. If you guys want to send money to my Cash App or Chime, those are down there as well as my Amazon wish list. If you like to send any money or send me anything, you don't have to, but if you want to, that's there as well. And also, be sure to like, comment, and share, and subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell to get notified when newest videos are up. And with that being said, let's talk about Devotion. So Devotion, this was a movie I was looking forward to because this is based on a true story and true events about two different people during the Korean War, Jesse Brown and Tom Hudner, and he was the first African American aviator to complete the U.S. Navy's basic flight training program, and the first black character, the black American naval to sacrifice his life in the Korean War. But I wanted to see this and see how this would be. And plus, I like the cast. I was very interested from the trailers. And with that being said, it's not Top Gun Maverick. So if you guys expected me to say it's just as great as Top Gun Maverick, no. I will say that this is a pretty great film. And it's really well done. And I am kind of disappointed that not many people went out and go see it. This is kind of one of those underrated gems. But this movie honors its real life history and having impactful drama while being a straightforward biopic elevated by a great cast. So with that being said, let's talk about this. And the first big positives of this movie is the acting. I love the performances in this movie. I think the performances from everyone are very, very good. First off, you have Jonathan Majors as Jesse Brown. He was the first black aviator killed during the Korean War, and Jonathan Majors is one of those actors who is amazing and who is fantastic. And as much as I'm dreading Kane the Conqueror, I think I can count on Jonathan Majors' performance to get me through. And Jonathan Majors is a great actor. I love him in stuff like The Man from Last Black Man in San Francisco, Lovecraft Country. I also very much love his performance in White Boy Rick, in Captain State, The Five Bloods, and he was awesome in The Harder They Fall. And I look forward to seeing him in Creed 3. Going into this, I definitely quite enjoyed his performance as Jesse Brown. I thought he was great, and he really sold his performance. He's determined. He definitely is willing to go down and sacrifice his life for his country. And you can tell this is a real life person. This was a real life person. So the fact that seeing someone who go out in the aviator during the war times, he's dedicated and he was committed, and he really is an empowering person to learn and do research about after watching the movie. Glen Powell as Lieutenant Tom Hudner, he was great. I have liked this guy in a few things. He was in The Dark Knight Rises for a small part. The Expendables 3, Everybody Wants Some, set it up with him and Zoe Dutch. Can't wait to see the next romance movie they do together. And he was great in Top Gun Maverick. So he really did a very good job in his performance. I very much liked him in here, and he's very likable and very charming, so I definitely quite enjoyed them. And then they really both did a very good job. They were very good. I thought they both knew exactly what they were doing with their performances. And I liked the camaraderie between them. You also had Christina Jackson as Daisy Brown. Joe Jonas was good as Marty Good. Thomas Sadowski, Darren Kagasaw from Secret Life of the American Teenager, and you have Surrender Swan playing Elizabeth Taylor. So I can say the performances are very strong and they all are very convincing. Cinematography wise, technical wise, this is a very well shot film and a very well lit movie. At times is beautifully shot. It's paced very well at 2 hours and 18 minutes. It don't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it's boring. And it doesn't feel like it's going to lose its flavor. Editing wise, like I said, well edited film. Very well edited. I was very happy with the editing in the movie. There is some draggy parts, just a little bit, but it's nothing really that major when it comes to it. And you do see the intensity of war, how these two people fought and died, and basically given their lives to protect themselves in war, and it goes there. I also really loved the way this movie was playing out. From the beginning to the end, I was sitting there. I quite enjoyed everything what this movie had to offer, and it went for it. It wasn't boring, it wasn't dull, and it just really went there. And also the fact that you have a black director doing this, who also did movies like Sweetheart and Slight, which I didn't see Slight, but this is my first exposure to this director. And you can tell the directing is on screen, the filmmaking is on display, and for one of the war movies, this was a very nice, interesting war movie to see, and I definitely enjoyed a lot what this movie had to offer. Of course, you do know what's gonna happen in terms of the main black guy here, but at least the real life person, he did fight in the Korean War, and he was willing to die so young for the Korean War and to protect the Koreans country and to protect America. So that I can definitely give credit to. There are quite just maybe a few things that's a little not too great. I will say it starts off a little bit slow, and you can definitely feel feel it in a little bit. The heart of this movie is definitely in the right place, and it definitely can go a little bit over boring, and it could get a little bit narratively troubled in the second act, and you could have been a little bit more better structured when it comes to the narrative structure in the second half, but it was still investing. And I can say also, I do think the movie, even though it's paced very well, is just maybe 15 to 20 minutes too long. Now, I don't have a problem with long movies. This is definitely not as long as Avatar 2, which I have seen. But I will say, you could just cut some of this movie down just a little bit. But with that being said, I'm not saying anything else, because the rest of this movie is still very good on its own, and it still gets you straight in and gets you straight out. So I can definitely vouch for that. But overall, Devotion is a very solid war film that definitely is impactful. It is one of the more underrated movies of 2022, unfortunately, because not many people went out to go see it. It is a little bit troubling in the narrative structure in the second half. A little lengthy at times by 15 to 20 minutes, and it's definitely no Top Gun Maverick, but at the same time, it didn't need to be. Its heart is in the right place. You have some very great performances from the supporting cast, capable direction, some well done action sequences, gorgeous cinematography, and great performances from Jonathan Majors and Glen Powell. It's definitely a great movie based on actual events, and I really enjoyed this movie a lot. If you are one of those people who did not see Devotion in theaters, definitely seek it out and give it your support. It is actually a very, very good movie. Like I said, is it going to be Top Gun Maverick great? No. But it is nowhere near the worst thing ever. I really quite enjoyed this movie. It is a very great film, and for a movie about the first black aviator to fight in the Korean War and give his life at such a young age, I feel like they did justice honoring the actual events. And this is definitely a good film to watch, to be inspired and be empowered by. So, if you haven't seen Devotion, give this movie a chance, and I am going to walk away and giving this I highly recommend it. This was really surprising and very good. Definitely go out, watch it, and then you will walk away being empowered by the true story presented here. Well, that's going to do it for the video that you just watched. I will have my channel here, so you would like to see anything here, click the channel icon, subscribe for more. I will also leave a video and maybe a playlist here, so in case you want to see what I'm about. As always, stay Epictasticness, join the Epictasticness, and you guys keep it cool.